Hello everybody and welcome to Wise Warrior's Path. So I decided to go out for my video and just go take a walk and film while I was out here, you know, just enjoying this day that is kind of horrendous for a summer day. It's like the middle of June here and it's raining, it's cold, I'm wearing a sweater and yeah. But I'm still enjoying the day, still enjoying the birds who are out here just trooping it. So I decided to come out here and just make a video for you guys. So I'm sorry in this video if I make any mistakes or I get kind of tongue-tied or I don't really explain things properly or possibly get things wrong, I guess. I'm just kind of, I guess, ranting, just expressing some opinions and as well as some thoughts. But in this video I wanted to talk about also zombies. And a lot of people know what zombies are who play video games, watch movies, read comic books. Zombies have become something very popular amongst our culture, especially with our youth, and as well around times with Halloween or just kind of fantasy, a little bit of role-playing. And it's kind of fun because a lot of people make videos on zombies and, you know, how you're gotta kill them, how this, you know, apocalypse is gonna come. And everybody, you know, has to get guns and machetes and find ways of fortifying themselves and defending themselves against this horrific situation. But how many of you think about it and see that it is a horrific situation? It's horrific times for humanity if they had to see some sort of zombie crisis, some sort of apocalyptic times, you know, and we got a lot of that in our culture, in our media, telling us that this is going to happen one day, and a lot of people that are making videos nowadays saying that it is going to happen, that we are going to go through some apocalypse in our lifetime. And you know, I'm a person who doesn't want to see that, neither does you. You know what I'm saying? We may enjoy watching that stuff in the movies and, you know, kind of have fun with it when we play video games. Like, let's just say you play Call of Duty and you're on that diner level and you're got to get all these points so you can get, you know, good guns and you can unlock things, and you know what I'm saying, you can just beat the game. But what if that was your life? You know, what if that was like a real virus that was unleashed onto the populations? Because what do you think those zombies are? They're real people. You know, they're not just monsters that were created in a lab and unleashed onto the population. No, those are real people that got infected by a virus that hasn't existed before. Maybe it has, but we sure don't know about it. And it's not the Black Plague. This is like a virus where people become like demonically possessed and they just want to bite other people, infect other people. And I've watched some pretty horrific movies of like people that were in some badass situations where like people who were trying to survive together and one of them got bit or infected and the whole group kind of looked at him and the guy's like, no, 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 and they like chopped him down, you know what I'm saying, just killed the guy, you know. And it's almost like we're getting conditioned to that kind of stuff, right? And I don't like to focus on this kind of stuff. I don't like to make videos on this kind of stuff. But why are people making movies and, you know what I'm saying, video games on this stuff? You know, getting us kind of used to killing other humans that are in really bad situations, that are infected by a really bad virus. And of course, yeah, if we had a virus and we had zombies doing that, we'd kind of have to defend ourselves and kill those people, right? But think about it, how would that virus come? You know, it's non-existent, we've never seen that kind of stuff before, yet it's our media that's talking about it. You look at things like Zika, there's more than just rumor, but evidence to that virus being something that is created. And right now, we got summers that are at risk of people that are being bit by mosquitoes and are getting the Zika, third world populations, things like Ebola. There's a lot of theories, and not just theories, but straight up like scientific evidence that a lot of these viruses that we have today were either created, were exaggerated, were unleashed, were enhanced. You know what I'm saying? And that's some pretty serious stuff. And we got to understand that we're human beings. We fight wars. You know, we kill each other in those wars. We try to invent the most terrible ways to kill other people. And you got to remember that war goes beyond just the battlefield, beyond bullets, arrows, and artillery, and even nuclear bombs. You know, it's always went as well to civilization, to women, children, elders, people at home, because people at home also wage warfare. That's usually how invasions get started, because entire systems, entire areas get targeted, they get meddled with, you know, they get spied on. You know what I'm saying? Those are real things. Espionage is real stuff. You know, but also inside jobs, false flags, you know what I'm saying? Inside conspiracies, not just theories. But if you look up what conspiracy is, it's not just theory. You look at what can happen from the inside, from people who, let's just say, you know, want to commit crimes. There are people, but they're committing crimes against their own people. You know, just like criminals steal from their neighbors, or let's just say career criminals, you know, they watch people, you know, the mafia, we got movies, we got video games, you know what I'm saying, based on real life. You know, we got video games right now that are based on the Middle East, on fighting terrorists, counterterrorism, Counter-Strike, and what's been happening in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff that we got to focus on politically as well. So, apart from conspiracy theory, there's the reality of things that we really got to focus on. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that get out there and they try to focus on those realities. My channel's one of them. And the reason why I want to also film today outside is because that's what my channel really started on. It started on filming outside, filming our environment. I wanted to film wildlife. I wanted to film insects, as well vlog, document people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Be able to interview people. I wanted to do stuff like the History Channel, like the Discovery Channel. But over time I began to see really what our world is made out of. As I began to film and as I began to have more access to the broader world through YouTube. My brother started on it. He started making videos and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He was a little kid just having fun. When I came to YouTube, you know, I came to it very early on, but I watched it, you know, just like everybody else, just having fun, watching videos, you know, watching comedies, fights and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Keeping up with the UFC, because I actually, you know, still train to fight and stuff like that. And it's not because I want to fight and hurt people. I do it more like Kung Fu, like Tai Chi, just to, you know, better the mind, better the body, better the spirit and whatnot. But I also got Christianity, so I got my own world. But as I began to interact with YouTube in my adult life, I began to see different things, and as I saw those things, I began to see them closely. I'm like, wow, I've never seen this before, I've never seen this political opinion before. Wow, I never knew that there was a different opinion onside our mainstream narrative. You know what I'm saying? I started to see things that were different from what I was educated from. Real evidences, other people's documentaries, people's stories. You know what I'm saying? People's rants, just people's personalities from around the world. Being able to talk to people, interact with people. It was an opportunity to, you know, do something different. It was literally the informational age. And today, as we all know, or most of us know, or most of us are beginning to know, that YouTube's starting to kind of go back into the mainstream media shell. Basically, YouTube's not becoming YouTube anymore, you know, where people just go and share videos. It's becoming like a mainstream TV channel. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of the people who are mainstream or who we watch and are very popular are just an extension of Hollywood, an extension of a culture that we try to get away from by looking into YouTube. Facebook, you know, where it was a time where we could go find friends and families, we still can, but now, as it always was, but now especially, it's become a government tool. They want to make it part of your ID. They're monitoring what you're saying, what you're talking about. Because the majority of our conversations nowadays, especially for a lot of our youths, are through Facebook. Especially when you speak to people internationally. You know, it's a way to compromise other people. You know, so I don't want to paint a negative picture on these things, but basically that's what's happening. You know, we're crawling back into having our information severely controlled, as it has always been. You know, before we had freedoms, but as our information, the printing press, the ability to make movies, the ability to spread information like we do today with the radio, everything, even certain trends that make adapting to certain information and certain things much more easier, much more better, acceptable. We've been able to use our TV, our paper, everything. Even our education system is a form of like media. Because a lot of the way that we look at media, the way that we look at our world comes through how we are educated. as children, especially in modern times, and as well for a few generations now. We've had a good education system, but at the same time, through those education systems, we are severely indoctrinated. You know, we are severely given other things on the side that maybe we shouldn't be given. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should be aware of, for sure. We should see those things. It's our freedom to see those things. But when you begin to almost kind of indoctrinate people into only seeing those things, that's when it becomes a problem. The violation of your rights, especially your human rights. And human rights and things like that is actually a very modern thing, even though religion, especially Christianity, has always tried to respect, you know, human rights. Since the very beginning, at least in our systems, we have based it around the Christian system, because before, human rights was a laughable thing amongst many systems. You know, humans in general are used to being abused, are used to being enslaved, are used to fighting, are used to going through harsh times. And at the same time, because we are humans, you know, we're able to enjoy things and see certain things. We got certain ways of living. It gives a big clue that we were created by someone. We were created by God, or at least what we are now as an intelligent life form is something that is very sensitive. We feel. You know, we're made to be something else. So when we suffer, they're almost lessons to better ourselves, to become better people. But today, the suffering is becoming something new. Is becoming something focused on, where it's not just first class, second class, third class. Now there's like a fourth class, like a fourth world beyond the third world. It's something that is created. It's almost like our third world is totally created as an environment that is meant to be like that, where people are meant to be poor, they're meant to be a bad example. You know what I'm saying? And when you begin to look at our media, you're going to begin to see those things very closely. So when I talk about zombies and those viruses, think about the people who are brainwashed, who are manipulated, who basically got their minds controlled by what they're influenced by. Now let's just say having their minds controlled doesn't mean that someone's controlling you, you know, on a puppet string, on a puppet thing. No, what's happening is that people are manipulating you. Things are manipulating you, and you're being influenced to think a certain way, to see a certain way. And then what happens? You act a certain way. You behave a certain way. You do things a certain way. You share information a certain way. Your defenses, your awareness is a certain way. Basically, that is mind control. You know what I'm saying? And that has always happened. Parents do it all the time to kids. We control kids' minds all the time. Because kids need to be almost controlled, especially with all their energy. And because we're parents, we know what's best, we know what our environment's about, we're the ones who created those kids, we have the right to control them. You know what I'm saying? And as well with reasonable responsibility. And today we have systems and we have things that have focused so that we can have those responsibilities be met better. And that is a positive thing to the most part. But there's things that are on the side of that can come with that can in reality, you know, come with good intentions, with good influences, even convince parents that it is a good thing, but end up being a negative thing altogether. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry if the way I'm explaining things is not like the best and I kind of get a little tongue-tied. I'm just a normal person. You know, I got issues with as well learning. You know what I'm saying? I've had my own issues in life. I've had my own difficulties, my own struggles. So to the most part, I make many mistakes. But also the reason why I decide to speak, the reason why I decide to have motivation is because I am human. Because I am just like you. Because I am a person who is growing up. I'm an adult now. I'm 29 years old. I just recently turned 29. You know, and what I try to do in my life is better my life. I also do martial arts on the side, and you can actually see some of it right here as I'm speaking. See it right here on this part of the screen. I don't know if I'm aiming at it properly here. And that's what I do. I train. I do politics like I do now. I talk about things, but I also do this on the side. I train. I try to have fun with it. I try to better myself. You know what I'm saying? And recently, I could not do this anymore on this channel. I could not do political videos and at the same time do martial arts videos. So I had to make a completely different channel. And on that channel, I've made some new friends. And I've also lost friends because people see my political channel. They see what I talk about. And there's a lot of people out there that, you know, they don't know how to take these things. They don't know how to hear these things. So I've had people who followed me for my martial arts, and then they look at politics. They might get offended because I talk about things like Israel. I talk about things like chemtrails, genetically modified food, things that people don't understand, things that people have been taught not to understand, have been taught to question. But in reality, they see the effects of these things every day. They see the illnesses that are in their families. They see how hard it is to live life. You know what I'm saying? They see how cancer kills. They see how diabetes kills. They see how dementia takes away their families. They see how their kids are influenced into drugs. You know, but a lot of people, they don't know how to take this information when they hear it straight up. So what a lot of people try to do is that they try to avoid it. They try to raise their kids the best they can. But what they don't realize is that there's a lot of things that are targeting families, are targeting our families, are targeting people like us. You know what I'm saying? So recently, I had a friend that was subscribed to my other channel, and I want to tell this story because with this channel, when I lose friends, when I lose people, I lose support from people, it's okay. You know, I understand that with this channel, it's about politics. There's a lot of people that understand, there's a lot of people that don't understand. There's a lot of beliefs that are clashing as well. You know, a lot of people are trying to defend their nationalism as well in different ways. There's a lot of people trying to defend their identity, their religious beliefs, certain things that they support, certain things that their occupation forces them to support. Like, let's just say as police officers, military, politics, or certain things that their families are into, their husbands or their wives, so they have to support as well. I understand that with this channel I lose friends, but with my other channel it was not about politics, I'm sorry, it was about martial arts. And it was about also vlogging a little bit of my life, sharing my life, doing different things. And I had people that followed me, they had their own beliefs. But I began to, you know, be found on my other channel, this channel. And people saw it and got a little offended. You know, they saw that I spoke out against certain things in the media, certain songs, certain trends that a lot of young people like. Certain, like, let's just say Satanism. You know, maybe a lot of people are not Satanists, but a lot of people listen to rock, they listen to things that are like, you know, people go like this and stuff like that. You know, people go 666. You know, people love, you know, certain trends. So they get very offended by it. Especially when they do, you know, the medieval stuff, the role-playing stuff. A lot of people don't understand it. As well as when they see that you talk about Christianity. You know, they don't understand it. They get offended. They get scared of it. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. But it kind of hurt a little bit because my political videos started affecting people on my other channel. And some people kind of unfriended me. Some people got a little offended. Some people kind of got in a fight with me. And I had this particular person, you know, who came out and said, you know, this person's questionable. This person went from having long hair, you know what I'm saying, to suddenly shaving his head like I got my head shaved. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, I wouldn't be surprised if that person was the next bomber. Because think about it. That person trains martial arts every day. You know, it's like he's training for some sort of radical group. And he talks about politics. He must be like, you know, a radical or something like that. And in that same video, that person, I'm going to leave a link below for that. That same person said that they don't watch the news because, you know, they don't like the doom and gloom. They don't like the news. But they got offended because they watched one of my videos talking about current events, talking about chemtrails. They started making fun of me of that. They started making fun of other people right now who focus on this stuff. Started basically also making fun of Christians. You know what I'm saying? Saying that, oh, they're always, you know, focusing on things that maybe they shouldn't focus on. You know, maybe Christians shouldn't focus on certain things, right? You know, maybe they focus on certain things that are, I guess, gloomy for their lives. But when I see Christians, I see them doing good in their lives. You know what I'm saying? When I see people talking about current events, you know, especially like a young person like me, especially with the kind of stuff that I've had in my life, the kind of setbacks, going out there, working out, trying to do martial arts, keeping with it, you know, trying to train, be a good fighter without wanting to fight and hurt people, just trying to be a good role model. I share my videos. I do it also so I can look at my videos in the future. You know what I'm saying? And I also focus on politics. I try to be aware. And I'm a radical for that. And when I look at this person on their channel, I don't want to make fun of them or make them look bad, but they kind of make themselves look bad. They smoke pot. They're like hippies basically. And they like to spread that. They're also very proud of their guns. They like to wave their guns around in their videos and be like, oh, this is how I handle things. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how my grandfather would have done, and hold up his shotgun. Even made a reference to me saying that this is how I handle bald terrorists. And they had like a gun and a doobie, and the guy was smoking a doobie and drinking beer. And saying that I'm a bad influence. But I would never smoke pot or drink alcohol on my videos. Maybe I'll have some wine or something, who knows? Maybe someone on my video will have wine or have a beer. You know what I'm saying? The regular culture that we have. But I'm not gonna represent drugs or a certain kind of agenda, or something where young people could possibly go and do something that's gonna harm themselves, like drugs, like smoking pot and stuff, and you're not gonna know if I'm against pot or for pot, but it's like that, those kind of opinions I keep on the side. But I'm not gonna criticize you also because you're doing it. I'm criticizing you now, let's just say if you are doing it, but you see in my videos I don't try to criticize people on certain personal things. Even as a Christian, I try to be moderate. I try to talk about the main things that Christians need to look at, or other people who are interested in Christianity should look at. I try not to be a Bible thumper. I try not to be a bigot or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? All I try to do is just try to, share with people what I know, make videos on what I see in my life, and I try to interact with people in a real way, in a way that they want to be interacted with, like as a real person. I'm not trying to be all scientific. I'm not trying to be all, politically correct. I hate being politically correct. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of hurts when people say those negative things about you, especially when you're in reality going out there making a normal effort, because I'm doing what normal young people should do. Normal young healthy people should do. Get out there and do things that are positive. You know what I'm saying? For myself, and as well influence my community while I'm at it. So a lot of what I see today is that we're losing the battle of having a normal society, of having a society where people govern their own things. You know what I'm saying? Where people are able to have freedom, independence, where marriages are able to stand, where people don't have to pay severe taxes just to simply live in the house they want to live in. Where property becomes something that they're enslaved to. Just because they've worked all their lives to simply pay off a mortgage that is overpriced, that is too much, that is unreasonable. And even the people that are collecting on what they sold their house for, it's not worth it, because now they have to open up a different mortgage, put an expensive payment on another house. They're not even going to benefit off that. And the only people who can pay that are the people who happen to have good jobs, happen to get together as families and struggle really hard until their families can't do it anymore. And then now banks are owning their properties. There's a lot of stuff that I can get into, and a lot of people are not going to understand. So even get offended by because they don't understand. But we have to have awareness for what's happening today. Now I'm not going to be able to finish this entire video today. I'm not going to make like a second part to it. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of stuff that I want to say. But I'm going to take the opportunity to finish a lot of what I want to say by beginning to start up this channel again and beginning to make videos again more, because I took a break because I just had to. I got sick of all the political stuff. I wanted other people to, what I'm saying, pick up, take the baton and just run, you know what I'm saying, with it. And do what I was doing for a while. You know what I'm saying? See how stressing it is, because a lot of people who have channels like this, who focus on this kind of stuff, know how hard it is. And I was even called dramatic the other day because I make stuff on politics, because I try to be aware and shit about our lives. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, how am I if I really was focusing on my own image, my own drama, my own 90210, then I wouldn't be speaking out against something that has taken away my monetization. To now where I'm making my videos is basically for free. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm having things literally stop my videos from being able to be shared. Where I'm being put on restricted mode, I'm being shadow blocked. I'm getting my speech censored. I don't think that I'm trying to do it for drama. Before, yeah, I wanted the views, I wanted it. Sometimes, yeah, I still want the views. I like the reputation because I'm only human. But nowadays, I'm starting to see how serious things are. And I'm using YouTube as an opportunity to be able to share with people what's going on, be able to learn from other people, be a normal human being. I don't think that's drama. I think that's trying to be aware and trying to just not just do the right thing, but just trying to live. And also when I make these videos, you know what I'm saying? I do it because I care. I truly care. I think about my mother. I think about my siblings. I think about my father, the struggles of my family, my culture. And I think about other people that are just like me and are just like you. You know what I'm saying? Who have the same things. Whatever color you are. You know, I think about those people in the Middle East. You know, now that I'm more older and I see it for what it is, I think about them losing their homes, their cultures, their lives, and how we're lying about them on the media, and then we're using their families to censor our world here, bringing them all here. Our families are being called racist because we're being like, hey man, what about us? What about our systems? In Europe, literally people are being like thrown out of their houses so that they can take immigration, while the Middle East is being cleared out and vacated, and Israel is being brought in. We are getting vacated here while we are having agendas being brought in to replace us. They want to replace the workers in our factories by robotics, which in a way it's good, it helps, but where do you think all those humans are going to go? Maybe people don't want that. Maybe people want to continue to be able to make money, be able to feed their families, you know, be able to be worth something as human beings in this world of working. You know what I'm saying? Even the Bible says, who are you if you don't work? You know what I'm saying? How are you expect to eat if you don't work? If you don't contribute to society? I at least work by getting out there and sharing to people here with my YouTube videos, being able to have awareness, talking to people also about my Christianity, about better influencing them. I earned my way in this life, I think. You know what I'm saying? And I also gotta, let's just say, work in a factory, or let's just say work in some occupation to feed myself. I think I do more than enough. A lot of people do more than enough. And they deserve to be recognized for it. You know, those are the people right now that make these nations what they are. I'm not just talking about nationalism or some sort of proud patriot thing. Yeah, I may be connected to something Christian because I'm Christian. I love Jesus Christ. Oh, wow, am I a bigot? I don't try to, like, you know, like shove that down people's throats. But I do try to share with people what my faith is. But apart from that, you know what I'm saying? What about people who want to be aware? You know, and just want to live a normal life, have a future. You know, when you raise your kids, you need them to be something. But then we got a world here, we got politicians, we got businesses, corporations, we got certain families that feel more entitled than other people. And send good people like us to war, destroy us, replace us for whatever agenda, whatever works better. You know what I'm saying? In a way, I guess we're progressing. But it's like we're getting our youth manipulated to destroy their parents every single 50 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like where we have like a good golden age where families are good, but then we have this system of just war and stupidity. Why? Because our leaders and our politicians are feeling threatened, that they're going to have their systems be brought down or something. You know what I'm saying? So who pays the price for that? We do, as families, as people. And that's why I make these videos, because I see that stuff. I'm also a person that likes to study history, likes to look at history. I've always done it all my life. I've liked it for the war, you know, the spears, the swords, stuff that I do, also the martial arts. But now that I'm getting older, I see it, the people behind those weapons. I see the people behind those legacies and those stories. People like us. that are going through the same things. And we don't just owe it to them to change the course of the future. But we owe it to ourselves, to our kids, so that they can have a better future. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of crap right now that is just holding us down. And I'm saying a lot of those people who were hippies back in the day, you know what I'm saying, who were trying to fight against war and all that stuff, good for you. But a lot of you were also brainwashed by a lot of shit too. Just like our youth today. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that they're doing positive things and stuff. Oh, like vegetarians and stuff. No, what these kids got to see is that our systems are manipulating them. You know what I'm saying? And just like those hippie people, those hippie parents that are out here today, you know what I'm saying, allowing all these agendas to coming in, voting for the most liberal, stupid stuff, or so that you can smoke pot, you vote the stupidest idiot in. You know what I'm saying? Without fighting it on other means, so that you can have your pot or you can grow your quantity of plants or whatever. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not hurting or killing anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? If you do that. You know what I'm saying? As long as you leave other people alone. But when you see this whole LGBT system, voting that in, regardless of what happens, you know, voting whatever war out or in, or let's just say supporting something in order not to support that, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to check your priorities. As adults, you guys got to see what you're supporting, what you're allowing your kids to play with those video games, watch on their TV, you know, listen to through their headphones. Who the fuck is this Miley Cyrus? Who are these idiots? You know what I'm saying? Listen to those rock bands and what they're telling your kids. Maybe a lot of you understand it. Maybe a lot of you think it's okay. But in reality, you begin to listen to the message for yourself first. And maybe all those years of you thinking it's okay, maybe it's something that you shouldn't have thought of. Like that. Maybe it's you got to take more awareness and be able to teach your kids differently. You know what I'm saying? And it hurts. You know, I got called a fucking a person who's, you know why I shaved my head? You know why? Because as a young person, I believe that shaving your head for someone who dies from cancer is something positive. So that's why I started shaving my head every spring, or at the end of spring, in the middle of spring when my aunt died. You know, I shave my head. And someone says, oh, you're a radical because you make political videos, you box and stuff like that, and you shaved your head from having long hair. Now, where I come from, the winters are harsh, so the long hair helps, especially with the rain and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And when I shave my head, I do it because it helps in the summer, because it gets really hot, and also because I do it because my aunt died of cancer. And I just did it out of a thing of respect, because that's what some people do in places like the United States and Canada, in the West or England. They shave their head. You know, some people wear pink ribbons or whatever. And to be called a radical for that shit, you know, just because you're trying to be aware, because you're trying to be a normal young person, fuck that shit. I hate that shit. That sucks. I mean, I think you're a radical for having that mindset. You know what I'm saying? What kind of person, you know, let's just say smokes pot on their channel, drinks beer, you know what I'm saying? I understand that there's a bunch of young people that subscribe to his shit, actually make videos talking about young people, and then get offended because someone's talking about politics and say that you don't watch the news, and then call them a radical because they shave their heads, and because they train. What do you think a person, haven't you ever seen Karate Kid? What do you think people in the UFC do? What do you think people, even who are Christians, anybody who has a mission in life, or is going to college, what do? They train. You know, like, look at Karate Kid. What does he do? He trains so that he can become a better martial artist. That's what I'm doing when I make my videos on martial arts. I made a completely different channel. In fact, I'm going to have the link below to that channel where you saw a little bit of my boxing here on the screen. And look at it yourself. Follow it. You know, like, subscribe. Follow my channel. And I made that channel, or that old channel, I used it specifically so that I can get away from these politics and lead by example in a way. You know, not just talking about our laws and the struggle and all this doom and gloom like some people say. I'm actually going out there and trying to be a better influence, trying to vlog a little bit of my life and just be a different person than the mainstream narrative. Alt versus right. Just be a normal human being. You know, and people watch my political videos, they don't understand, so they start making fun of me about it. Maybe you should take more awareness. And I'm not going to blame those people. Look at what our media is doing. That's why I make videos trying to take awareness, and it sucks. We should have more older people going out there and supporting younger people and being awake. Instead, we're having some of these bozos putting them asleep, and that's not right. So as a younger person, you know, now that I'm getting older, you know, I'm a mature adult, maturing adult. You know what I'm saying? But still young. I'm still 29. You know, I still got quite a bits to go, hopefully. You know, I get concerned, I get offended, I get shocked, I get sad, you know what I'm saying? You know, I get upset. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel bad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that there's a lot of people that feel bad, and I feel sorry for a lot of older people that when I was young try to influence me in a proper way, try to tell me something different. And I didn't laugh at them. I wasn't that kind of kid. But I've known a lot of people who were. And I had my moments where I was ignorant as shit. And I feel bad for not listening to them. But I also did listen to them. That's why I'm here right now. I'm 29 years old and I'm still here. Because I did listen to them. I'm listening to myself too. You know, I do care about people. I care about young people, man. You know what I'm saying? I truly do. I may make my mistakes, I'm not perfect, even as a Christian, I swear. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I box, I beat the crap out of things. You know, you watch my videos, go watch my channel, I beat the crap out of things. But what do people do when they're becoming boxers or martial artists? They beat things up. Look at Jake Mace, Longevity Channel or whatever, Tai Chi. Like, look at that guy, look up Jake Mace, Kung Fu. What does that guy do? He has a positive attitude, but he beats the crap out of things. He teaches you how to kill things. Not because he's a radical or he's fucked up, but that's because you're doing martial arts. That's what it's called, martial arts. Boxing is also a martial arts. Don't think it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's also a form of being healthy. You know what I'm saying? Working out. You know what I'm saying? Some people do different things. I like to do that. And to be called a radical for that, because you also make political videos on this, that's bullshit. That's ridiculous. You know, I've been here before. I've fought before. I've had other channels besides this one. I've had my free speech affected. You know what I'm saying? I've been on the front line of this political shit for a very long time. But if you've just seen my other channel, my older channel, before this one, Vibio V Bios, I did everything. I focused on everything. I had a positive attitude. I even was compassionate to the whole LGBT thing. You know, until one day, someone said, oh, this guy's fucking shit. So my voice was shut down. And I didn't deserve that whatsoever. Now that I look at it, now that I legally look at it, now that I review my videos. I didn't do anything wrong except for have an opinion. And that's what YouTube and Facebook is becoming nowadays for people. You know what I'm saying? But that's not where the battle is. You know what I'm saying? People have to have, you know what I'm saying, a good will, a good mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because your future does matter. What you do in your life truly does matter. And I guess that's what I try to do the best that I can. I try to go out there with the best of my ability, and I try to share with people what I know, what I can, what my experiences are. And I think that more people should do that. We got to begin to combat this ignorance. Get off your couches, get out there. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate what God gave us. If you're a Christian or not. Maybe you can make fun of me and say this guy's a Bible thumper. What a piece of shit. Unsubscribe from me, whatever. But people who want to think better, you don't have to subscribe to me or like my video or watch more of my videos. No. The whole point of my message is, as a young person, is wake the fuck up. Get out there, be smart. You know what I'm saying? Be smart. Be normal. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of struggles in my life. There's a reason why I have a drive as well to talk to people. Because of what I've experienced, what I've seen in my life. It's fucking horrible, man. You know, like, I think about my culture, what my culture has been through. Being from a German past and as well a Spanish past. I speak Spanish. I study what my culture's been. And I've seen how hard my struggle has been. Trying to fit in, you know what I'm saying? Also represent what your nationality is. You know what I'm saying? Saying German, oh, you're Nazi. Fuck off. Oh, you're Spanish. Oh, you must be a cartel guy, a Colombian, a drug dealer. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by our opinions. People get offended by shit. But what you don't realize is that sometimes what you support may offend someone else. What you support may be supporting the destruction of someone else's culture. So don't be offended because other people out there come to these countries or have been affected by these countries and have something to say. You know what I'm saying? Begin to hear the people who in reality got something to say. Not this whole George Soros crap, not this whole InfoWars controlled opposition shit or CNN. Just listen to your fucking neighbors. Be smart. You know what I'm saying? Have a brain. Have a head on your shoulders. Is that fucked up? Is what I'm telling you fucked up? Seriously. Is it? I lost my monetization for saying shit like this. I've lost channels in the past for saying shit like this. Who do you think has the problem? Me? Or the people fucking screwing up our systems? Making us all fucking suffer this headache. Anyways, I'm sorry for starting to swear and rant and say things that are harsh. But I'm only a human being, right? I feel too, just like you do. And eventually all of you are going to begin to understand what I'm saying. All of you, a lot of you are already. A lot of you are waking up to it. A lot of you are seeing it. You got to begin to do it more. And not get depressed about it. And get, you know what I'm saying, like want to eat a bunch of cheese. Be smarter. Have pride in being awake and aware. And have change. And look at your results. And have confidence that your results are going somewhere. That's what being aware and doing something as a normal human being is all about. And that's why also I respect Christianity. Because it has never told me to be radical or have a certain mindset. You know what I'm saying? To be a slave. It's told me the opposite. Anyways, guys, my battery's running out. It just ran out, so I'm gonna have to say goodbye. And until next time, take care and goodbye. Subscribe to my channel below, my second one.